All right, I had a lot of people on my timeline ask me about the Cardinals passing game, Drew Pensing, making comments all over the place. So to me, it's always important as I get some of those things. Can't break down every tape every week, but when I start to see little themes on Twitter, I like to kind of address those themes. So here's the thing. I called the game on Monday night, watched the game back, and actually thought the Cardinals had a lot of opportunities in the pass game and just didn't execute as well as they could. So I just wanted to show you guys, and at times, hey, you got to attack a problem, and other times you got to defend guys because people don't really see when they look at stats or only watch a game on TV what's really going on, okay? So here we go. This is one of those situations where you'll see Trey McBride is going to be right here. Okay, so that right now is Kyler Murray's go-to guy. That's the guy he's got confidence in. That's the guy he believes in, the guy that's making plays for him all over the place while he's still trying to figure out the other pieces. So Trey here is going to run an out. We got Marvin over here. He's going to run a go and just clear it out. And then what I want you to see is then there's a hitch over here. So to me, this hitch on the top should always be an alert for any quarterback. If I get corner off, right, this guy in an off position, and it's easy access over there, I can always make the game easier by taking the hitch. I understand Kyler going, okay, yeah, I could take that, but I really have comfort with Trey McBride, and I believe Marvin's going to carry the corner off over here, so I'm going to get a good matchup to this side, all right? So he comes back, and he looks at Trey. Okay, that's his comfort zone. He looks at Trey. He's probably going to stick that on Trey right there, and we're going to get 5 or 6 yard gain. Worst case scenario, but the ball gets knocked down. But easy opportunity over here as well. So again, what I want you to see is that there's guys open on this tape and opportunities within this offense that they just have to figure out ways to execute, right? This one here, it get knocked down. That happens sometimes, but it's what causes the lack of execution, for a better term right here, is simply because the defense kind of wins this rep, but there's opportunities out there. Okay, naked bootleg. Okay, and so you're going to see as we come out here, kind of the same type of concept, a go here and then a little deeper out here, and then they're probably going to run a naked. This guy's going to maybe leak out to the flat, and then they've got their over coming here. All right, so you're going to see Trey McBride again that is open right there, okay? Right here on the out route, he's open. For some reason, Kyler is getting back inside a little bit too quick on this play. So his eyes are coming back into the over here instead of, being able to see what's out in front of him or, whatever happened on this play. There's the initial read, in my opinion, on this play is the out, and then you work down from there or back to the backside from here. Kyler just rushed this a little bit in terms of his eyes and seeing through it, but another big opportunity early in this game, and Kyler's able to, again, salvage it where not as big a play as they could have had, but also not a negative play because he's able to make up for that with his feet. Okay, they go to a 4-strong look here. And again, we can talk all we want about concepts across the board. This is a concept you're going to see 25 to 30 teams run, okay? And so again, that's another part of defending play calls is going, okay, are they doing things that are different or not as good as other guys? Well, this is a concept that everybody runs, okay? So what we're going to have down here on the bottom is a play that I call pop. So it's pop, pop, and then we're going to get our back on a swing. It's a 4-strong concept, and then they run the corner right here, okay? So everybody runs this particular play, okay? The other thing that I broke this down a couple weeks ago with Dallas is that this becomes a pure progression play in most situations because we're going to look over here, and it's his guy again, Trey McBride over here on the slant route. And if we start with the slant route, okay, then it goes 1, 2, 3, and then either one of these could be the 4, okay? And what I have a lot of problems with pure progression, but one of them is that you can get through things too quickly because you're looking at one, but you know you got to get all the way back to the other side to really read it out and see all the bodies that are over there, okay? And so I say that because they get exactly what they want on the 4 strong look. They get this linebacker, you see, he's inside the hash, he's on the strong side of the ball right here, which is what you're trying to get is one-on-one with your playmaker on the backside, okay? So here they get it, okay? And again, you see Kyler, how quickly he moves through this. Trey McBride's going to come open, in my opinion. You just stick that slant on him right there. That's an easy completion and a nice big gain. But Kyler comes off it so quickly here because I know he's thinking, oh gosh, I better get back to the front side and make sure I don't miss something on the front side. So we miss an opportunity on that backside slant, skinny post there because we're working through it a little bit too quickly on that play. And again, Kyler does a great job of salvaging this play as he worked through it a little bit too quick, but hey, he's able to buy some time and make something happen out of it. So a lot of people see plays like that and say, oh my gosh, nobody's open on the back end, so Kyler has to make a play. Well, there was a guy open. Kyler just moved through it again a little too quickly on that play, and it's syncing up that timing and that comfort of what you're seeing, with your feet, so you can play with some of these things on time. But I get it. Told you, it's one of the reasons I don't like pure progression because it makes a lot of quarterbacks speed up when they don't have to. Okay, so here's another thing. I talked about it a couple weeks ago. So we're just going to run a deep corner right here and then a flat out here. So what we're looking for is we're looking for a cover 2 look. So this safety high and this corner in a position where he's got to play the flat area both high and low. So we're trying to get this guy isolated right here. So you're going to see it's exactly what we get, right? Eventually this starts to play out and we got exactly what we want right here, okay? Read this guy. Do you feel like he's shallow enough that you can take the shot over the top to Marvin Harrison? Maybe if you're feeling comfortable and you're on time. Or we've got an easy completion underneath here because that defender is 12 yards away from our flat. Again, Kyler going inside to the check down. Why? Well, here's why. And this is one of the reasons that I always talk about. I hate chipping when you need a guy in the route. I need this flat to get out here right now if I'm a quarterback so I can read this guy, right? If I don't get the flat there, then I don't really know what that guy's going to do and how he's going to react. And so what happens here is, I talked about this on one of my study balls. This is what I call an unwarranted chip. I understand times when you need chips, but you don't need to chip or you can't chip in terms of the quarterback perspective when I need that guy in a route. So what happens is Kyler's looking over here to try to take this to this side, but his flat hasn't gotten out yet because he's chipping. He's chipping. He's chipping. If he's out there right now, Kyler's looking this direction, has a chance to read this, doesn't like it, he's chipping, doesn't even know if he's going to get out. So he goes back to the inside and tries to get the check down here. And this is actually a ball that gets tipped up and intercepted here, where we can look at this and say, should be an easy completion out here if we execute this right. So play call, good. Opportunities, good. Execution, not good, or maybe some of the details in which we're coaching it, not good, because it makes it harder on Kyler. Now he's forced to go back inside, and this is one that turns into an interception where it should have been a pretty easy completion. Okay, so I talk about this all the time, you guys know too. In the empty sets, how are you going to protect it? Okay, so this is kind of a 5-down look because they have 5 guys walked in here over the offensive line. Okay, so you can either 5-down it, which means Derwin James here off the edge is your hot, and it's a hot backside. Or you can slide everything to the left side if you wanted to, and then that leaves Khalil Mack as your hot to the front side coming off the edge. So one way or another, how you do it. Okay, so the Cardinals go 5-on-5. So you're going to see as we snap this, we got a free hitter. Derwin James is coming as the free hitter on Kyler Murray, so he's got to beat this with the throw. Now, he's got a couple options. If he wants to stay front side and attack the pressure, he could hit that hook right there. If he wants to go to the opposite side and beat it, he's got answers. Boom, boom. We got 2 unders. Good concept across the board. I like this concept on both sides. And nice job by Kyler. Hey, pressure's coming. Boom. Get back. Get the ball out of our hands. You got to make the play, right? Got to make that play. That's an easy play. Everybody knows we got to make that play, and you see more in the passing game. All right, really well done here. Again, kind of the same idea. Which way do we want to protect it? They decide to protect it and slide it to the left here. So this linebacker is going to come free and become their hot guy, whereas I think they should slide it back this direction and pick him up and, force them to come off the front side because I've got more bodies to the front side. But that's, pick your poison. Great job here again, right? Good concept on the backside. I'm giving my quarterback 2 options, 2 quick options off of that hot defender. Nice read by Kyler. Stand in there, boom, deliver, and take a hit, okay? Good concept on the other side that you're going to see that they hit this a couple times in the game. Now, one thing I might change on this is you notice we got a 2 tight end set right here. And so what you really want to do is, and maybe it works out better most of the time for them, but you want to make sure that whoever's running your in route, so they're going to have a in, a hook, and a swing over here. Whoever's running your in route has the best opportunity to get the free release and get down the field. So that's my biggest thing is that I might put the outside guy on the in and then Trey McBride here on the hook, but I'm sure they want Trey on the in route. And, it definitely is going to work out sometimes, but you're going to notice on this one here, because he's there, he's got a guy over the top of him, and boom, he gets banged, and it kind of messes up the concept over to that side. So that's just one detail as you've got to figure out it, and maybe it's the opposite, where maybe the outside guy gets a defensive end on him, and he gets slowed down more times than not. So you have the inside guy run the in. I haven't run this play that much from this particular formation, so I'd have to do a study on that. But that's just, again, for me, one of the details, simply because I see it happen here, that he gets banged. Would that be a normal thing? Or is that an abnormal thing where the release pattern and who's running what works out? But nice job again by Kyler to get that ball out and options all over the place. Okay, so we're trying to take a shot, right? We're trying to get our main guy involved. So they're going to run and out and go. Okay, so it's really just a 2-man route. Okay, so we're going to run the shot, we're going to run the big in on the backside, and then it's all check downs from there. Okay, so, we're calling a shot, we're trying to get one-on-one, and sometimes it just doesn't work, right? Safety goes over the top, corner kind of bangs him, all right, so it just doesn't work. So now, again, there's options here, is that we could tell our quarterback, hey, if you're going to go and look for that double move by Marvin, then just stay over to that side and drop the check down here, which is what Kyler does in this particular case. Or the other part is come out, look at it, and if you know it's dead from the beginning because safety up over the top, corner outside, really have a 2-on-1 instead of a 1-on-1, then just work back to your in first and then down to your check down on the backside, okay? So Kyler stays front side, throws his check down because Marvin Harrison doesn't win. Okay, the other option, like I said, plenty of time. See that there's 2 guys back there. Work your big in. There's a big shot, big window up over the top here if you want the in. And again, opportunities, guys open. Some can be how they coach it. Some can be the process of the quarterback. I understand both sides of it, but just showing you guys there's some things out there to be had. Okay, so here's the play that I was talking about. Okay, it's a really good concept. Okay, so now Trey McBride's running the in. We've got a hook and we've got a flat. Okay, so the idea is we're trying to get 2 defenders to that side, like it with a corner off where we can kind of read inside out. So we're looking here first and then we'll read 2 to 3 off the outside linebacker is how I like to read it. You can read it low to high, but I like to read it high to low so I'm not late on the end. There it is. Okay, it happens. We get the movement, exactly what we want. Movement by this linebacker. Boom. Wrap the end back behind it. Good timing, good throw, good concept. Again, you see bodies open all over the place off of the good concepts that they're running. Okay, a little play action right here. It's what I call play action pylon. Okay, so outside guy is running a pylon. Now we can talk some details in a second. Underneath guy is running basically a deep out. And then you have somebody working out to the flat. Okay, so it's just a 3-level kind of flood combination. Okay, so where this really starts is I want to read the deep defender to that side. Okay, so it could be a safety. In this particular case, it's going to be the corner. So I'm going to come back and look at him. If he gets as deep as the deepest, which is his responsibility with Marvin, then I'm going to work down to the outside linebacker and I'm going to have a high-low over here. Again, another really, really good concept, because it gives you answers. Come back. Okay, Kyler, we want to just read that corner. So that corner, as you see, it can be a tough read because looks like the corner is going to bail out of there. So Kyler's kind of set thinking he's going to throw the deep out. And then the corner comes off here, and the throw is really over the top to Marvin Harrison. Now, I would like, this to be a little bit more condensed here to attack that safety, take a little higher angle, save more space and more timing to that throw, but you see the opportunity that's out there. And again, one of the big things that I want to see Kyler continue to grow with is tying his feet to the read. So in other words, we need to take a deeper drop here because I need to see and let this get past the corner before I make the decision on what's going on. But you'll see how quickly he's set right here to throw? So when he's setting to throw, these guys are in the same spot and we're not getting the different levels that we want. So when you set too quickly, then you get your read too quickly. So I see what he's doing here. This guy's starting to carry to the outside. He's set. He thinks the flat one's going to come underneath it. And then he's already set and the corner comes off. So if he takes and delays this drop a little bit, now he can get a chance to make sure Marvin's past the corner and I can get my read off of the corner, because once you set like this, it's going to be nearly impossible for him to go short to long. So you always got to go long, be ready for the deep one, and then recover underneath to the next read. If you go too quickly and you're set to the short one, you'll never be able to reset and get this ball up and down to Marvin Harrison on this particular play. But, okay, so this happens, right? Okay, we maybe missed one there, but great reaction by Kyler, right? Okay, missed the read. I thought I was going to have the out. Don't have the out. Make a positive play. Do something positive with the football. And Kyler, I think, always does really well with this, is that when he doesn't see it or maybe misses something on the back end, he finds ways to get positive plays and completions instead of sacks. All right, another one here. Good quality concepts on both sides. Really a route that I call hook. Okay, so we're hooking with the outside guy and we're running it in, back behind it here. Again, I'm all about the details. I'm not a big fan of going in, okay, when we're trying to hit an in, because it cuts down the spacing that a defender has to cover here. I'd rather try to pull that guy out. So because I'm already in a tight alignment, if I'm the outside guy, I'm going to run the hook out here so I can try to pull, right? I want to try to pull this underneath defender to the outside. If I go right to him, I don't make him move to cover me. If I go outside of him 2 yards, he needs to move to cover me, and with him moving outside, it only opens up a bigger window in here. So that's a detail that I would change, right? You see how the outside guy goes into the defender, and the defender does what? He's actually even taken a step inside, which is what I don't want him to do, because he squeezes this whole thing, and it forces me to hold it a little bit longer, wrap that guy in a little bit longer. So I'd like him to be outside there. It's one of the natural things that I think a lot of coaches do is hey, if we get in that guy's face, we'll be more apt to grab him. where I'm a believer in, I'm not trying to necessarily get this guy open. I'm trying to get one of these guys open. So if I go wide there and that defender doesn't move, the outside guy's open. If I go wide there and the defender has to move to cover me and get outside, I simply open up the inside guy or the in route more so by doing that. So we condense this here. Another great throw by Kyler. Good timing. Boom, sticks it right on Marvin for the catch. But I just think some little details, right? If this guy's out further in a max split, then sure, come inside, but get to that same landmark I'm talking about by going straight vertical so we can pull the defender. I always use the term, we want these guys to have to cover width and depth, not just depth. So if we run at him and he never has to move his feet sideways, all he's got to do is cover depth. So here, right, he covers the underneath portion of this, so we can throw it over the top of him and it works. But if we're forcing him to both cover width and depth, so I'm going outside of him, so to cover me, he's got to go outside. And then I'm going behind him, so to cover that, he's got to get depth as well. That's what messes with defenders when you force them to cover width and depth at the same time. But really good timing, throw, and opportunity there. So the point I'm talking about is that I think Kyler only threw for 150 some yards or something in this game. So everybody comes out of this and go, oh, what are they doing? There's no opportunities there to throw the football. And I'm just trying to show there's plenty of opportunities there, right? They just have to clean some different things up, some details here. Maybe, again, I don't know how they coach some of these concepts. So like the double move and the big in on the backside. Do they tell Kyler to pick a side and stay on that side? Or do they allow him the ability, if I read it quickly on the double move, can I get back to the end? But point being is there's opportunities out there for them. They've just got to find ways to be more consistent in hitting those opportunities. Okay, here's another great example. So they've been running that play, right? So this and Marvin, they ran this play numerous times, right? Trey McBride got the in a couple times. Marvin was throwing the in a couple times. So now we're going to make a move off of that. We're going to fake the in and we're going to double move it, right? Because it's been tight. You saw that last play, really tight. The safety's starting to drive down on that play. Great play call here. Let's take advantage of their aggressiveness and let's give them a double move off of it. Here, boom. And you see, right? Bang, we got him. There's the touchdown, right? But now here's the problem. I know a lot of people, we're talking about this on Twitter. Oh, Kyler's got to step up and reset and see this again and launch it. Man, anytime the pocket breaks down, it's so easy for us to see things on tape and say what a quarterback should do. When the pocket breaks down, you have to kind of reserve yourself to go, okay, now it's on the quarterback to feel what he feels and play the game from here. So, want the double move, but right, he's got color right here, because you can also say, oh, stand in there a little bit longer and make the throw. He's got color right here, and look at the relationship between these two guys right now. You have no idea if that's going to come open at this point. So, boom, he's got a slide, and there it is, and you'd love to see, oh yeah, Kyler, reset right there in that pocket and make the throw. Yep, that's a possibility, but again, especially with a guy like Kyler who's got such a good feel for making plays in these kind of situations, you've got to say, hey, this is on you. You got to play football at this point, and whatever that means, and he does. He plays football, and he makes a play to Trey McBride here, get a nice completion. But here's another huge opportunity in the pass game that wasn't taken advantage of for different reasons, right? Lots of different reasons out there that they've got to figure out. Okay, here's another one. Okay, getting man-to-man coverage here. Okay, so we get what we want. We open up the middle. We got this skinny post. This is Zay Jones here, kind of back. Marvin Harrison got dinged up before this play, so it probably would have been him here. Okay, so we got the play call. We got a huge opportunity for another big play, but we miss this big play. Okay, the throw's back behind Zay. Okay, I don't know if Kyler just missed this one, or is it a continuity thing because I haven't really run many plays with Zay Jones, and if Marvin's in there, maybe we hit this for a big play. But in this particular case, another opportunity there. Guys open on the back end. We just didn't execute for whatever reason on this play. Okay, here we go. Same basic concept again, right? They ran this play numerous times. It's the in, it's the hook, it's the flat. Okay, we've seen it a bunch of different ways that they've run it, but the same idea here again. Okay, so come off, and you're reading this inside defender, and he takes off running. Okay, so you can read your in first because they've hit this a couple times. Now, the biggest thing is, do we feel like this guy is starting to get involved because it's why we ran the double move, and does he make it tough? So if I get movement, I could also replace back to this hook on the other side. Okay, so you see this guy's starting to drive here. So I feel like that scared Kyler away from this a little bit. Like, man, I'm trying to put it on his back shoulder and missed it to the back side here. And again, details. Okay, so this is something for me that is extremely huge. Now, I don't know what the details of this route are, but, and I'm not sure which receiver this is, but I want you to watch the depth of his route, okay? So the ball is on the 30-yard line, and he starts to break right there on the 37. It's a 7-yard route here. Now, maybe it's taught that way, and maybe these are questions and challenges that we could have within their system, but very seldom do you run a 4 to 5 yard route and then a 7-yard route right behind it, okay? Or at least I would never do that, right? It's all too tight. It jumbles everything together. Okay, why is that important, Kurt, if he's not supposed to be at 7? Well, because this guy here, if he's expecting him to be deeper, so what I would do is run this at 12 yards. So 12 yards would be all the way up here on this particular play. I would be running this at 12 yards to create separation at the different levels to allow my quarterback to have more time to read it and to threaten this guy. The closer you get and the more you push vertical, the more this guy has to back up. The further you are away from him, right here, he is not threatened deep at all. So as soon as he feels that lean inside, he gets a chance to drive it right here. Even though there's distance between them, he's got the ability to drive it because he's not being threatened deep. So it's important to push vertical, threaten this guy. His responsibility is you on the post. That deep quarter area of the field is his responsibility. I've got to threaten that responsibility and then break underneath him, and it helps with the timing here. So we can sit back here and go, I don't know, Kyler maybe, should have gone to the underneath guy because he was more open. Or Kyler missed this throw right here, which, yeah, in essence, he misses the throw, but you tell me, right? If he's another 5 yards deeper, does he miss this throw? If he's 5 yards deeper, does Kyler not have to worry about this guy driving on it, or I'm worried about him beating my receiver to the ball, right? See it right there? See the drive? See, if I throw it where you would normally want to throw it on the front side shoulder, look at the safety drive on it. So what's the issue here? What are we doing? Do we maybe need to challenge the way that we're running this so we can help Kyler to read it and to be on time and not have to rush this? Can we hold off the safety to help this play a little bit more? But I see some different factors that could be in play right here outside of just nobody's open, bad play call, or Kyler, terrible throw right here. I see some factors that could come into play. So again, the biggest part of why I'm doing this tape is to show those haters out there that say, oh, we need a new offense coordinator in Arizona and blah, blah, blah. There's nobody open. What are they doing? Okay, just to show you what they're doing. Deep corner right here, okay? Bring some eye candy to try to pull the underneath defenders with the swing, and then we're going to work to one of these guys that's coming back here on a shallow. So more of a pure progression type play, trying to get it to Marvin Harrison, and then we're reading accordingly. So the play action, boom, we get what we want. We get this defender. Okay, we talked about the high-low on the corner flat earlier. Get this defender to hold his feet. Good timing by Kyler. Now we got to make the play, right? No reason to be jumping right there, right? And I understand maybe he's thinking there's going to be a lot of contact there, but no reason to jump. We always say that. Don't jump when you don't have to. It messes everything up and changes where the ball hits you, and Marvin ends up dropping this football. Okay, got to make that play. That's another play that's out there that they've got to make. And they've got to find a way to continue to make Marvin Harrison more comfortable so we can see all of his skill set come to play. But they were fortunate here that they got the personal foul helmet-to-helmet call, and it kind of moved them down as this was on their final drive. But there's another opportunity. There's a good throw. Got to make the play. All right, and let's finish with this one. Okay, so it's just a really good concept. It's one of my favorite concepts, concept that's run around the league. You look at the Detroit Lions, one of their favorite concepts off of play action. They're running the football real well. Play action, okay? It's a pinch concept, so we've got an influence post who's there to clear out that safety to that side. Marvin Harrison, again, trying to get him the ball. Why are we not getting him the ball enough? Still trying to get him the ball. The last play, he dropped it. Okay, we're going to try to get him the ball again. Come off the play fake. We're going to run a guy underneath. So we're going to try to develop this high-low over here to the left-hand side. And as we come out, you're going to see it. We get exactly what we want. He pulls down the underneath guy. I guess that wasn't James Conner. That was the other receiver pulling down the underneath guy. We get this guy to clear out three guys. And here's our throw to Marvin Harrison right there if we want it. Again, one of the things with Kyler is he's getting off of it a little bit too quickly. He's going through things a little bit too quickly, kind of slowing down your drops and meshing it better with the read, because you see he's already coming off of this and trying to find James Conner. And this turns out to be a huge play, a 33-yard play by James Conner that set up the game-winning field goal. But you see the opportunity that's out there in front of him if he just slows down the process a little bit, ties his feet to the throw, okay? And so that's a big thing that I always talk about with quarterbacks, is that once we get set, we feel like we should be throwing it. So if we get set too early, we might look at this and go, it's not clear here because I'm set too early, and now when I'm set too early, I want to throw it, so now I'm going to move through my progression faster than I need to. If we set at the right time, now we get a chance to see this right here and see it clear out, and I'm still set for it, and I can lay this between the hashes and give my big young receiver an opportunity to make a play. All right, so to me, when I went back and watched this tape, this was about continually improving the execution and the details of what we're trying to do, both quarterback, maybe with the play design as well, receivers on the outside, but the details cleaning up, because the play designs and opportunities are there. They've just got to find a way to take advantage of it more.